Okay, hello everybody. So I'll give maybe 30 seconds, a minute while some folks join us. But in the meantime, if we can see in the comments where everyone's joining us from, I'll take a quick look. And I will say, I want to leave some time for Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions along the way, just put as many as you can in the chat, and hopefully we can get to all of them at the end. So maybe 20 more seconds and then we will get started. Okay, I can see Zoe in. Hello, Zoe. There we go, Isabel, Ali, everyone's coming in now. Great. Okay, so welcome to small homepage tweaks to Skyrocket Inbound leads. Now, we're going to go through quite a lot. So let me switch over to here. We're going to go through quite a lot in this presentation. So hopefully we can get to all of it. As I say, if you have any questions along the way, just let me know. So first of all, we're going to discuss what an inbound lead is. Then we're going to go into two, I would call these maybe theoretical parts of the presentation. So the aggregation of marginal gains and closed mouths don't get fed. Then I'm going to walk you through 5 really high ROI changes that you can make today to your homepage. That would be clear and many CTAs, powerful hero section, work and social proof high up on the page. Are you allowing your visitors to do the thing, round your buttons, then we'll recap, and then ideally, I'm going to try and leave 5 minutes for a Q&A. So, who am I? For those of you who are familiar with me, you've probably seen this like so many times, but for those of you who aren't familiar, my name is Sam Crawford. I'm an industry-leading Squarespace expert with over 450 Squarespace websites built, and I'm also a Squarespace educator, circle member, panelist, blog contributor, and enterprise partner. That was a mouthful. And in case you weren't aware, that's me, and that is me. So, what is an inbound lead? And I'm just going over this to frame the entirety of the presentation. So if you're not familiar, an inbound lead in simple terms is a potential customer that comes to you instead of you having to search for them. Really simple, and that's all we need to do on that slide. So keep that in mind. This is what we're optimizing for with all of the other slides that we're going to go through. Keep this front and center. Now, the aggregation of marginal gains, I want to spend a little bit of time going through this because it's probably my favorite concept. And if you look at the graph here, so if we get 1% better every day over 1 year, we're coming up on 40% better. If we get 1% worse, then we actually obviously go backwards. But you can see the difference between 1% better and 1% worse in terms of the compound effect of the gains that we can make. And so I encourage everyone on their own website to almost audit the site, like not daily, but as regularly as you can, to see where you can get like a 1%, 2% marginal gain across the board, because all of these really tiny things add up to a huge, huge increase in inbounds, in people spending more time on your site. And at the end of the day, you making more money. And that's what we all want to do, isn't it? So to give you an example of this, it's one of my favorite anecdotes, and it is Team GB, the cycling team, so the UK's British Olympic cycling team. They were awful, and then a new coach came in, and he was like, "Okay, how do we become 1% better, or even 0.5% better, in like 100 different ways?" So they shaved like 2 grams off a bike. They like when the cyclists would travel around Europe or around the world, they would take their own pillow and their own bed sheets so the cyclists could get a better night's sleep. They would they would transport the bikes in a dust-proof truck because it would make like a 0.5% difference in the cyclist getting ill and missing some training. And this is a completely separate vertical to what we do, but it's the same mindset that we need to be applying to every element, not just of our homepage, but of our website. If the equivalent of shaving off a gram on the bike to us could be shaving off the corners of our buttons, like rounding the edges, which we'll come on to. And so I would encourage everyone, if you think this is good advice and you think, oh, actually, hey, Sam's got a point, just go away straight after this presentation and make these changes. They're really, really simple to get started now. So that's marginal gains. Now I want to talk about closed mouths don't get fed. So it's all well and good changing small things on the site, but if you're not screaming about how amazing you are, someone else will be, and they will probably close the dream client that you want. So people maybe think it's slightly arrogant. People don't want to come across as too cocky, I guess, to potential clients and visitors. But you have to be shouting your case as loud and as regular as possible. So, for instance, on my site, I'm like award-winning Squarespace web designer. If you want the best Squarespace website, you come to us. And I frame it as like, hey, you're on my website. We're the best. It's probably not true. We're probably not the best. But if I'm not shouting from the rooftops, if I'm not opening my mouth to get fed, then why would the client choose me? If I am not 110% confident in my own work, my own site, how can I possibly instill that confidence in a client? And so that's a really small mindset shift that I think. Sorry, guys.
Your slides aren't advancing.
Oh, they're not moving?
No.
Oh, my goodness. Tech issues. Sorry, everyone. Let me see. Oh, no, I can see it here. Can you, just 1 second? Sorry. So I can see it here. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Slide issues, apologies. So that's closed mouths don't get fed. Now let's get into the 5 tweaks that we can make. Again, let me just check the chat. Can everyone see? Someone tell me if you can see the 5 highest ROI changes you can make. Please just check the chat for a moment, please. Oh God, everyone's going off. Yeah. Okay, we're all good. How embarrassing. Hopefully I described it well enough. If I didn't, we can flick back through them at the end. So the 5 highest ROI changes you can make, and I'm going to check the chat after every slide to make sure we're progressing. So number 1 is clear and many CTAs. Now let me check. Can we all see this? Okay, great. So clear and many CTAs. The issue that people will make, or the issue that people will run into without realizing, is their CTAs, so their calls to action, they're really weak. So how many of you guys have learn more or get started as a CTA? We all think, hey, like we know our website inside out. We know where that leads to. Like we believe that people view our website like we do with a fine-tooth comb. But if we're not holding a visitor's hand to guide them to exactly where we want to go, they're probably not going to go there. So ideally, and if I can zoom in on my presentation, let me double check whether you can see. Oh no, you can't see the zoom. But you can see book a call with me. And if we scroll down here, book a free call. The CTAs are crystal clear. So I'm not saying that we need to treat our clients like they don't know any better, but it's far more effective to give them as much information as possible as to what they're going to click. Because most people, they're not going to click around the site. When we go onto our own site and we're looking through it, we go through every minute detail. But that's not how visitors behave on a site. They scan through really quickly, and if something doesn't catch their eye, they're not going to click it. So your CTAs should be really, really clear. Let's imagine your hero section. So for those who aren't familiar, a hero section is the first section you land on a website. And your CTA is like, learn more. No one's gonna click that. They don't know enough about you to want to learn more. But if it says something like book a call with me, or explore, or what service is right for you, something like that, that is far clearer as to what they're going to click. But otherwise, people are just going to scan through, and we need to capture them at every possible point. So something else people don't want to do is put like more than 2 or 3 CTAs on a page. You should be putting a CTA on probably like every other section, if not the vast majority of sections. Give users a chance to synthesize information in a section and take action straight away. Because a section on your site may really resonate with a visitor, but if the CTA isn't right there, they'll probably read it and go, oh, that's nice, and then click away. We have a finite amount of time that a visitor spends on the page, obviously, but attention as well. So if we can capture them with a really strong section and strong CTA, then we increase our inbounds. Really simple. So, you can do this today. Just add a button block into like 3 more sections on your homepage. It's such a small thing to do, but over time, if we look at the compound effect, that could lead to maybe an extra 3-4 leads over a year. How much is that worth? It could be, for some people that could be worth like 5K. For some, it could be worth 20K. So for the sake of adding a few buttons in, I think everyone should be doing this. Number 2 is a powerful hero section. So this is my exact site right now. Obviously, it doesn't always have blares on, but you can see here, I'm putting as much visual information as possible in a small screen real estate as possible. So we have, hey, here's who I am, strong CTA. I'm allowing clients to see, hey, I'm available now. We need to give them every possible excuse to be like, okay, I want to hire this person. I want to inquire with this person. If you look, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 elements there, but it doesn't look cluttered, or at least I don't think it looks cluttered. But basically what I was talking about before with people not viewing our website like we view our website, most people, they're just not going to scroll past here whatsoever. And so this is why it's so significant. This is the most powerful section on our entire website. So in terms of practical advice for you guys, you need to have a really, really strong H1. So your largest header to say who you are, why you're so great. No one's going to fight your corner like you're going to fight your corner. So I'm saying, Sam Crawford, your award-winning Squarespace website designer. It couldn't be clearer. Then you can give some context. Then a really strong CTA, which is hidden behind the arrow. But again, I think it's like, let's say, start your project today. It's not start your project. It's start your project today. Urgency, trying to get people to click now. Let me check. Can we still? Yeah, we can see the slides. Oh, you can see the Zoom as well. Perfect. Okay, cool. And guys, if you have any questions along the way, I'll try and get to them at the end. So, work and social proof high up. So we've just been through the hero section here. Underneath, this is what's called under the fold. So under the fold just means, let's say you have the hero section takes up the whole screen, and then you do one scroll and it's under there. So nice and simple. This is going to be probably the second most important section on your entire website. Here, we need to be saying, okay, hero section has told you who I am, a bit more context about what I do, an option to, like a call to action. But underneath, we then need to almost prove who we are, show our credentials. So here I have featured in, and then websites that I've built. Because if you do a little bit of introspective work and you think, okay, what if I was hiring a web designer, what would I want to see? I don't care that much about them. I care about the where. I care about seeing amazing design. Like if I'm judging web designers, the first thing I'm going to judge them on is how good are their websites, right? Obviously. So you want to be putting your work as high as possible and social proof to frame that. So if we use my website as an example here, this is all about showing authority and then skill. So you can see here I am, professional photograph, context, strong CTA, and then social proof. So guys, you can put, I'll go to this one, you can put a, what would we call this? A bar with companies who you've worked with or you've been featured in, and then straight under that, put your work. Like it needs to be almost front and center, because that's what you're going to get judged on. No one is scrolling right to the bottom of your page. So get the most important stuff high up. If your work is maybe 5 or 6 sections down, most people aren't going to see it and they're going to click off. So just assume you've got 10 seconds. Hero section, under the fold. Number 4, it's a funny title, but are you allowing visitors to do the thing? And since I know that my Zoom is working, we can zoom in here. Start your project today. So I'm telling people, hey, you can start a project and you can do it now. I'm telling them as much as I possibly can within a button. Hey, you can book a free call. Some people, so when we talk about aggregational marginal gains, some people may think, if I book a call, do I have to sign up there and then? You have to allay fears wherever you can, because that may get you, it may get you 1 call booking a year. But again, what is that worth to you? It could be 1K, it could be 20K. For the sake of just putting free in there, it makes all the difference. And then you can see down when I have a blog, read all blogs. It's not learn more, read more. It's read all of my blogs. Such small tweaks. They're not wholesale changes. They're just tweaks. But when I talk also about clear and many CTAs, you can see CTAs are in every single section. It doesn't have to be the same CTA. It can be your homepage filters people off to different areas of your website and keeps them in your ecosystem. And then we've got round your buttons. So this is like pretty random, but rounded buttons are perceived as friendlier than like squared off buttons, and therefore you will get more clicks. I know like this sounds really small, but it does make quite a big difference. And for the sake of, just slightly rounding your buttons, you'll get more clicks. You'll definitely get more inbound leads just from rounding your buttons. If you do nothing else, just go into your site styles, round your buttons, and you will get more inbound leads. I know you may be thinking, Sam, that sounds ridiculous, but it's not, I promise you. And that one's a really simple and not a very long, complex one. So, recap. We've been through the aggregation of marginal gains. So this should frame everything that you do in terms of trying to improve your site. So you want to try and get a 1% gain. Don't discard something because you think, oh, it doesn't have a high enough ROI. That ROI compounds over months, over years. You could set something in motion now that pays you 30K extra per year, 2 years down the line. So think of it like that. Think long term, think aggregational gains that compound over time. Make people aware. If you're not shouting about your business and about your skill, nobody else is going to do it for you. You want clear CTAs everywhere, as much as you can, not stuff in, but as much as you can have on the site. You should absolutely be putting them in and make sure they're clear. Make sure they have as much context as humanly possible. Pay attention to your hero section. So the hero section and then under the fold, so your social proof and your work, they need to be as high up that homepage as possible. Make sure your visitors can do the thing. So whatever it is, make sure there's a CTA that tells them, hey, this is the exact thing that you need to do and how to do it. And then finally, round your buttons. So if we have, guys, if you want to connect with me, scan this QR code. If that doesn't work for whatever reason, you can email me anytime at sam@bycrawford.com. You can see my work at bycrawford.com, and you can copy the layout of my homepage, obviously. If you are a Squarespace designer, which I assume most of us are, and you want to earn more money as a Squarespace designer, go to sixfiguredesign.club and you can apply for the program there. And if you want to connect with me on Instagram or YouTube, you can see the links here as well. And if we do have time, we'll do a Q&A. I will just check the private chat. Hopefully my slides did advance. Okay, cool. If we have time, I will check with our showrunners. Showrunners, do we have time for a Q&A? Okay, yeah, cool. So we've got some time. Great. I will go up to the top. Let's see. Let me filter through everyone warning me about my slides. So the one thing I can see right now from a few people is about the rounded buttons. So yeah, I mean, listen, you don't have to do these things; they're just suggestions. But I was much the same. I had like squared off images. Everything on my site was angular, and I was like, oh, it's not going to fit the aesthetic. But then I thought, well, why don't I just put all of like, why don't I put my personal taste aside? Because at the end of the day, yes, we're designers, but we're business people and we want to earn more money. And if something as simple as just rounding your buttons is going to make you more money, like why not just do it? Like, I know maybe everyone's going to have rounded buttons, but it doesn't matter if you think it looks slightly worse. If it's going to make you slightly maybe a lot more money, I would leave the personal preference at the door. Linda says only 3px round maybe. I think anything over 0px is fine. But yeah, as I say, if you do all of the other four things, I think that will earn you a lot more. I can't promise I'll earn you a lot more money, but you'll get more inbound leads. Maybe you don't have to do rounded buttons. What else have we got? I'd love to hear the evidence for it, Sam. Zoe, I mean, I can follow up. There is a study, but because I don't know the exact percentage, I didn't want to reference it. Caitlin asks, Sam, how do you compare putting a video up above the fold versus a photo? This is a really, really good question because for the longest time, I had nothing there. It was just H1 and then some like paragraph underneath. And then we started doing iterative improvements, trying to get those marginal gains. And someone suggested, hey, you need an image in the hero section to make people know you, like you, trust you. If you can do all three, then you get people to buy from you. So I put that up, and then this is actually an SEO play. So the video, because it's on YouTube and it's linked to the site somehow. I work with Henry Purchase at SEO Space, so he was like, hey, this is great for SEO. So we put the video in there. And the thing is with video, like when people see a YouTube video, they know instinctively, okay, we can click this. And if they see me talking, they see me interacting, it makes you seem more trustworthy. It makes people feel like, again, it could be like it could be 2 people a year, but if it makes them feel more comfortable to then follow up and work with you, then it's absolutely worth having it there. I wouldn't say it's a requirement if you don't feel comfortable on camera. I wouldn't say like you have to do this right now, but it has been effective for me. Like I get probably, I don't know, 2 inbounds a day. But I think it's a culmination of everything that I've been through today. Hopefully that makes sense. Heidi, sometimes work is not that obvious for clients that are in coaching massage. So then it is services, I guess, under the fold. Yeah, so I'm speaking to web designers or designers here. If you are a coaching massage, or if these are your clients, then yeah, it would be services. Just think of it like when you land on a website, what do you look for? You look for quality of overall design, hierarchy of information, and then you look, hey, what can these guys do? How do they explain what they do? What are their prices? Now, with web design, prices fluctuate, but if you're designing for those sort of clients, I think having a clear services, maybe icons or images with those services, I think that would work well. And again, same applies in terms of structure. You do want it as high up that page as possible. I noticed a lot more inbound when I started to move my work much higher up. Zoe, I use projects. Oh yeah, project work. That's fine. Zoe, how often do you make your 1% changes? Probably like once every couple of weeks. But I'm always, and this is more of a mindset thing that people should try and adopt, is like, we're designers, and so we should be seeing like good design everywhere. Whenever we're on a website, we should be like, oh, did I enjoy this process? Did I check out? Did I submit a form? What made me do it? Maybe just go back. Like everything should be a little bit of research. It shouldn't feel like a slog. It should be something you do out of intrigue, out of passion to be like, hey, why did this work? Let me deconstruct it. Let me reverse engineer it. And then try and apply it to my website. Ali says testimonials above or below services. I don't think that matters too much as long as your work and your social proof is high up. That's a good question. If it was me, I probably services first, then testimonials. You can go to bycrawford.com. You can see I have a Google review widget in there, and then I think I have services. Maybe I'm going to make a liar out of myself. Go and check my site, and then just copy. Caitlin, Sam, how did you add those Google testimonials on your homepage? That is a third-party widget. I don't know if I can say that on the presentation, but email me at sam@bycrawford.com and I can send you the link. I also have a YouTube video on it as well. Linda, this is in Germany, not so easy. Video on YouTube is content blocked. In that case, just use a video block. Like, you get the MP4 or the MOV file, just upload it into a video block, and like that's fine. Obviously the SEO won't be the same, but the content of like, hey, I'm a real person, you can see me talking, you can see me speaking about my experience, blah blah blah, that is still a net positive on inbound leads. Zoe, about the plugin, it's actually not from that company, it's from someone else. Just okay, we've got 10 minutes. Does anybody have any other questions? I'd be happy to answer them. I'll give it like another minute and see if anything comes in. All right. I think I must have done such a good job answering questions. If anyone does have any questions whatsoever, then just drop me an email anytime you want. So thank you everybody, and this was actually the final live session. Oh, Linda, in terms of cutting your video content, I will like email me and I'll send you that as well. So yeah, this is the final live session, and now we'll return to Circle Day Encore presentation. So thank you everybody, and hopefully you skyrocket your inbounds.